So Armanino McKenna welcomes you to today's webinar, 2013 Potential Tax Law Changes. As you've heard in the news, there have been a number of acts and upcoming changes, and today we hope to enlighten you on what those are and how they can impact your business. But before I introduce our presenters, I do have a few housekeeping details to go over with you. First of all, I'd like to review for you how to use the webinar pane. You'll see the pane in front of you, and the orange arrow will allow you to maximize or minimize the pane if you click on it. If it's minimized and you'd like to submit a question, and we encourage you to submit your questions throughout the presentation, simply click on the orange arrow to bring it back. Our presenters will handle them at the end of our presentation as time permits. Next, I'd like to go over our audio settings. If you are using your telephone to listen, then please make sure that you select the Use Telephone option by clicking on the circle in front of Use Telephone. But if you are listening through your computer's mic and speakers, then click on the option Use Mic and Speakers, which you see here circled in red. If you have the incorrect setting, it will produce an echo sound. And finally, this is very important to note that to qualify for California CE, you must use a personal computer, no PDAs, sorry, and log in with your own information and unique URL that you received in your confirmation email. Be logged into our online software for at least 50 consecutive minutes within the scheduled time frame of this webinar, and actively respond to at least 75% of the polling questions that will be dispersed throughout the presentation. Also, please complete our evaluation survey at the end of the webinar. Now I'd like to introduce our presenters. We have two presenters today. Tony is a senior tax manager and is part of our healthcare niche and is in charge of our internal tax training. He has a master's degree in taxation and over 14 years of tax planning, consulting, and compliance experience and expertise, and we are so glad he is here today to share it with us. Tony is joined by his colleague Noah Black. Noah is a manager in part of our estate niche group, and he focuses his efforts mostly on helping closely held private businesses and high net worth individuals. I'd like to review with you our learning objectives for our hour we have with you today. We are going to review the expiring tax provisions for individuals in 2012, discuss the new tax law changes for individuals in 2013, identify 10 different tax planning ideas, review business tax law changes for 2013, and share tax tips with you. And with that, I'll turn it over to Noah. Thank you, Noah.
Okay, thank you, Krista. Today we'll be discussing the expiring tax provisions in 2012. Specifically, we will go over the individual and business tax extenders that are set to expire at the end of the year. There are several key tax cuts that will cease starting January 1st, 2013. Next, we will cover the potential tax law changes for 2013. These include both individual and business federal tax law changes. We will touch on the Obamacare